I think it's about time to bring in my good friend, Professor Nez.
Woo! Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you, Kev. Good morning.
I couldn't afford the applause sound effects. Sorry, I had to cut the budget somewhere.
That's okay. That's okay. You know, we build as we go. We'll afford that next year.
So I tell you, but thanks again for being here. I mean, we were talking a little bit off mic before. We're on completely different coasts, so our timelines are a little different. But thanks for being here. And just for folks that maybe are new to Nez Nation, like who in the world would be, tell us a little bit about you.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much, Kev, for having me. I love everything that you're doing, and guys, you gotta make sure you hit that like button. You gotta make sure you subscribe to Kevin, because Kevin is bringing the heat. He's bringing the fire. Like nice. He said, I'm probably not awake right now, but I'm gonna try my best. It is 8:05 a.m. here on the West Coast. But yeah, I'm Professor Nez. Feel free to call me Nez. All my friends call me Nez. I run a branding agency with my wife where we help executives, professionals, and business owners brand themselves online. And YouTube has really changed my life. It's really changed my business. Video content specifically has absolutely done wonders for me. And so I try to help other business owners, content creators to, explore how they can share their story so that they can attract the right audience and monetize in this beautiful thing called the creator economy. And so I'm just so honored to be here, and I can't wait to talk with you, Kevin, because this is a long time coming, and I'm super excited. I'm usually not this pumped early in the morning, but you got me pumped, Kev.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And by the way, my friend Melanie Diane is talk about somebody else doing some crazy stuff. Say, hey, if you know the rules, you can break them.
Yes, well said.
Absolutely love that. But here's the thing, and tell me, Nez, if you feel this way. One of the things I love about YouTube is that it even though we're different time zones now, but it just it breaks every time zone, every boundary, and so you can have people watching from anywhere in the world like that. What a great way to reach people, huh?
My God, you know what, Kevin? What you just said right there is why I absolutely get so almost enraged when I hear creators, complaining about these amazing platforms. Like what you just said, it's such an honor. We're so lucky. I truly believe this. We're living in the greatest time to be alive, especially as a content creator, especially as somebody who wants to grow some type of a platform business, and monetize their expertise. It's never been a better time. I mean, the fact that we can reach somebody in Guam, that I have a Japanese viewership. Like, I mean, just say that out loud. Like, what? Yeah. I'm in Southern California, and I've got a Japanese viewership that watches my videos and gets value from it. I mean, that's insane. And it's all free. I mean, your time isn't free, but I mean, the fact that we have these amazing opportunities, and now I know we're going to talk about YouTube Shorts, which to me is like the digital gold rush. It's mind-boggling. The only thing stopping you guys, the only thing limiting you is literally your own imagination, period.
That is so good. You know what? Somebody needs to tweet that. I mean, that is so good. We need to
tweet that now.
That is true. That is true. If you stop watching at this point, don't. I mean, that's gold. So let me share the tweet that Nez sent out that actually I think kind of sparked all this. And I know it spoke to me. I tell you what, I haven't done this before, but I'm going to pop up the tweet, and Nez, I would like you to read it. Let's
I would love to. I would love to.
Reading of your tweet. Maybe we started a new feature.
I think it's a great launching point for this discussion, because, this is something that I wanted to post, because what I think is happening right now is something that's super powerful, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But yeah, I tweeted out on May 13th, YouTube explicitly states they want to make it easier for you to create using only what you have on you, mainly your phone. And I kind of say, pay attention, creators. This is a directive straight from the source saying that creating shorts with your phone will have a good chance of getting pushed out more right now. This is why I'm calling shorts. I did a video on my channel. I don't know if you saw it, Kevin, but I did a video on my channel recently where I said that YouTube Shorts is the greatest opportunity. I was pretty bold with the title.
Yeah.
The greatest opportunity in the creator economy right now. Why?
Yep.
Because you know as well as I do, and this is a great, I'm so happy you brought up that tweet. You know as well as I do, because Kevin, everybody, if you don't know this, Kevin knows all about cameras, knows all about gear, tech. He's a master at that. I'm terrible at it. I had to learn through much trial and error, and I'm just not good with that stuff. And I still have a lot to learn, right? I mean, but like, you know, what's really interesting is that, and why TikTok is so popular. And let's be honest here. Shorts is a direct reaction. It's a direct response to TikTok. TikTok's popularity is exploding, okay?
Yep.
I actually didn't see TikTok going anywhere when people were talking about it 2-3 years ago, but man, I mean, I knew vertical video was a revolution, but see, what's happening now with YouTube Shorts and what's happening now with TikTok, why TikTok is so popular, and I'm just going to use that as sort of a baseline, is because they have democratized content creation. When I work with clients, when I work with creators, okay, the biggest impediment, besides the ultimate gear between your ears, the biggest impediment is usually, well, Nez, I don't have a fancy camera. Well, Nez, I don't know how to edit. Well, Nez, where do I get lighting? Where do I get a $1,000 podcasting mic like you? And I always try to tell them that this thing right here that you have in your back pocket is literally all you need. And so what Shorts has done and what TikTok has done, my wife is a perfect example. My wife is not a content creator, but why does she create TikToks all the time? Because they've removed all friction. You can get your story out there. You can get your brand out there. You can get your business out there with zero friction, zero tech skills. You're only limited by what's in between your ears, period.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, my background, I was in radio for a bit and then I was in television for a long time. And oh my word, I remember a long time ago, I worked at a television station and we were one of the home stations for the Cincinnati Reds. And so they said, hey, we're going to send you to spring training camp so you can get some video. And I'm great. Well, the camera was bigger than me. And then there was a pack I had to carry just to record on. And then I've got the tripod, and I'm walking around like this. And I think I got 2 shots. And now it's like you said, your phone is 4K. It does all this stuff. And I agree. I mean, I think, look, YouTube and so many other platforms, they're giving us the platform to do with it whatever we want, grow our brand, reach other people, fundraise or whatever. And it's easy to overthink it like, well, when I have all this other stuff, I'll get going. And the guy down the street is already posting videos with his FaceTime camera because he's just out there and just giddy that he's got a channel. And so there's a point like,
I love what Seti from Flip Classroom just said. He said, posted my first short this morning. Let's see what's happening. Not doing too well right now, but we all know that doesn't mean anything. It's a long game. And I want to address this, if I may, Kev.
Absolutely.
So Seti is a great creator. He's got an awesome channel. YouTube Shorts right now is something that I believe everybody should experiment with because, again, going back to the tweet, anytime a company, you can always tell where a company's headed when you look at how much energy they're putting in their R&D and what they're talking about a lot. They're pushing so much effort and energy into this new product called Shorts. That's a sign to us creators. It's a beautiful sign to us business owners, content creators, etc., that there's a good chance that if we don't experiment with Shorts, we're missing out on a beautiful opportunity. And so it's brand spanking new baby rock bottom beta. Nobody has any conclusive data. I have some great tips that I think we'll get to in a second. Yep. But right now, if you're posting Shorts and you're not seeing traction, Seti and everybody watching on the replay, what have you, I'm telling you right now, be very, very aware that this is so brand spanking new and there is no secret sauce of getting on the Shorts shelf. But when you do, and it's just really a matter of when, not if, I'm telling you, you're going to see something really beautiful happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And Melanie was talking about this. You used to take a plane ticket or a long distance phone call. You paid for it, talk to people. Now just grab your phone and go live.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
And the thing is too, I mean, that's the equalizer. It's easy to look at the Peter McKinnons who I love and the Casey Neistats who I love. But you know what? You have the same opportunity they do. That's
exactly
what you do. And that's why I think with shorts, so like, for example, this is something that came from the YouTube blog, and it was talking about the future of monetization. But I highlighted to me, and it was a bigger blog post. And by the way, the bits and pieces from these posts, I've put links down in the description. I would encourage you to go read it. There's actually one from, I forgot the date, where somebody was talking about the 3 big things that are changing with video, and short form and shorts is what they're talking about. But if you look at this, and they're talking about the future monetization of shorts, it's the first step in our journey to build a monetization model for shorts on YouTube. This is a top priority for us. And Nez, would you not agree? Even if you don't, but that's fine. Would you not agree that when any platform,
I don't agree. I'm out of here. No, I'm kidding.
Come on, everybody. But when a platform says this is a priority for us, and you're a content creator, you better take note of that, don't you think?
Yeah, and not only that, Kev, they've offered a $100 million fund, which is very similar to the TikTok Creator Fund. But you don't even have to be, in order to taste some of that. If you look at that third paragraph, the Shorts Fund is not limited to just creators in the YPP, the YouTube Partner Program. And so, again, the only limit is your imagination. If you can create shorts, okay, that you consider some great practices and tips, which are not that different from long form video, and we'll get into that in a second. But I mean, the fact that they said you don't even have to be a partner and we're still going to pay you is something that is just, it's literally saying you need to create like now. It's basically incentivizing creators in such a powerful way. I know a lot of creators who, they maybe have the 4,000 hours watch time, but they don't have the threshold of 1,000 subscribers to monetize with the partner program. And even if you do get that threshold, sometimes if you apply, the YouTube, the YouTube gods need to really decide whether you're advertiser friendly. I've had some clients that I work with who have reached that threshold, but they still didn't get monetized because YouTube didn't consider it advertiser friendly. So this eliminates all of those barriers to entry. And this is a sign right here. And it's not about monetization necessarily, but what it is saying is that, look, we're not worried about your gear. We're not worried about, how long you've been a creator. Yep. We're not even worried if you even understand what being a creator is all about. All we're saying is that you can express yourself with something that every single human being has in their back pocket. And again, if you can create something that's powerful, that expresses, something about you and reaches an audience in a unique way, we're going to reward you for that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And I think right now Shorts is only still in India and the US. I think so. I know recently, didn't they roll it out to everybody, at least in the US? If you
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. It started in India, then they rolled it out to North America. Like I said, it's super beta. So more and more creators are creating shorts, like more than ever, but it's still so early. And here's one thing I would say too, and Seti brought this up just really quickly, if I may, Kev. If you're not seeing a lot of, I do think of this as a long play, like all things YouTube. It's always a long game. I don't think Shorts is going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Now, I've been advising people, and I've been doing this myself, to just try to create without overthinking too much, and we'll talk about that in a second. But also, don't be afraid to optimize your shorts for the long haul, meaning thumbnail, title, tags, etc. Because I do believe the biggest differentiator between TikTok and YouTube Shorts is that YouTube is powered by the most powerful search engine on planet Earth. Yeah. And so TikTok is not really searchable. And so
That's true.
this is the big differentiator. It's something we'll come
Yeah.
back to. It's super important.
Yeah. So what I want to do is, I accidentally popped to it, but I just want to show you how easy it is to get to it. And this goes back to Nez's tweet about, if you just think about it, guys, you don't have to overcomplicate this. But when you go to the, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get out of that. Oh, I'm offline. That's why. So I'm going to, I tell you what, let me change
I think you're in
view.
airplane mode. Yeah.
Yeah, I do this on purpose so I don't get interrupted.
Right. So do I. No, you got to do that's the number one rule of live streaming. Turn that phone into airplane mode.
Yeah. And what happened is somebody just sent a message. So I can't guarantee that won't pop up. But anyway, so when you go to YouTube, you go right here. And if you notice, this says create a short. And if you don't see this on your app, you need to update the app because, again, from my understanding, everybody has it. And when you go here, this was the view you saw a second ago. Now, this is, obviously it's not as, I started to say attractive as the other shot, but, I did pay a lot for that ceiling fan, so I'm going to use it. But, guys, this is it. And something I just discovered just the other day is that, so you can do 15 seconds or up to 60. If you click the little button right there above it, now you can record up to 60 seconds, and it doesn't have to be all in one take. So you can flip the camera around, you can change the speed. They are giving you all the things you need to do to record right there. And then when it's done, you've got the opportunity to add a title, upload it, make it public, make it private, add your description, add your affiliate links. It couldn't be any easier at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's what I mean by democratizing content creation is they're giving everybody a shot. Everybody has a chance. You can create you can get inspired in the moment and not have to worry about, okay, what about my intro? How do I edit this? I can upload it. I got to get the sound right. I got to get audio. Is it 4K? Is it 1080p? You can do everything on your phone. The phone content creator, the revolutionary phone content creator is here to stay, and it's just going to get more and more plentiful for vertical video phone creators.
Well, and talking to some of the things too, the features, and again, the links to all these articles are in the description. But you can add captions. You can record up to 60 seconds, like we talked about. You can add clips from your phone's gallery, basic filters, and then just the other day they rolled out the option of now being able to sample audio and from other creators. And that's something too that just totally opens the door, because, YouTube is about keeping people on YouTube. So like, for example, go to Nez's YouTube channel and watch the video he's talking about that's called The Greatest Opportunity in the Creator Economy Right Now, and find something from there. If he's okay with it, clip it, put that in your short, and you both benefit from that.
Absolutely. That's another good thing too, is a lot of people were alarmed by, the automatic opt-in that YouTube offered. But yeah, I mean, imagine somebody taking a clip of your short and then reaching a whole new audience without you. Talk about passive views, passive income, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's insane right there. You can get people promoting your videos. They're creating content. They're promoting your content by actually them creating content. Yep. And then who knows, maybe somebody sees that and says, wow, I really like the way Kevin presents himself. You know what? I have a conference I'm hosting next week. Maybe I'll bring Kevin over to that conference. I really like his vibe. Never would have saw his video. And then Kevin gets, paid to speak at a conference. He makes more connections. His business, this is how it works. It's a snowball. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And
you'd be crazy not to take advantage of this, peeps.
Oh, absolutely. And you brought up TikTok earlier. I mean, and I've heard folks say, well, they're just ripping off TikTok. Who cares? I mean, they can do. They
all do that. They all do that. They all rip off each other. Look at stories. Look at Snapchat. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But at the same time, competition ain't bad. And what I love here's what I love. So on YouTube now, you're going to get shorts. And depending on where you are in your journey, you've got the community tab, and you can monetize, and you can have super chats, and you can have think about this. think about this. Yeah, it's a business, but they're also giving you the tools to grow you as well, which is, again, for free. For free.
Yeah.
So, Nez,
yeah. A competition between these platforms is great for us creators. You actually want YouTube competing with TikTok, because YouTube says, oh yeah, TikTok, well, guess what? We're going to give our creators $100 million. And we're just sitting back going, yes, please.
Yep. And One Life, One Dream is saying, hey, they're in the house. Good to see you. Well, and we were just talking, and I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but we were just talking about Clubhouse, and now Facebook is rolling out
Rooms.
Rooms or something.
I think they're already rolled out. Then you have Twitter Spaces too.
Yeah, and that ain't a bad thing. That's just not a bad thing. But I still believe YouTube is the core platform. It's the core platform you can create from. It's searchable. It's so good. But so, Nez, what are some tips you want to share to folks that are either they're already creating or they haven't started yet for shorts? What are some tips?
Okay, so this is so good. So one of the things, the beyond the kind of normal, grab their attention in the first couple of seconds, get to the content, do a good job of keeping the pacing and energy going. Those are kind of like you guys. If you watch Kevin and you're a member of Kevin's audience, this you already know. I want to give you something that's not nebulous and just really tactical. I have found that if you do, I almost said TikToks. If you do shorts that have a couple of powerful features and a couple of really useful best practices, you're going to get some awesome metrics like big retention and a lot more views. One of the things is using the loop feature, or using a loop concept where you actually start with the end of the loop and then keep that loop going, which incentivizes the viewer to watch over and over and over again. And so this kind of loop feature is a really cool way, if you can create a story, a narrative that has an ongoing loop. This is something that can create amazing watch time, amazing retention, because all those factors play into it. I think it's the same, even though there's no conclusive, this is exactly how you get on the short shelf. YouTube is very clear. They want to surface videos to the right viewer at the right time to maximize viewer satisfaction. That will never change. It's all about audiences. You cannot optimize for traffic sources. You can only optimize for humans. And so having that loop feature on your shorts is really something that I've seen work wonders. I mean, there's a channel by the name dude who his name is Jake Fellman. This guy has millions and millions. It's all shorts, millions and millions of subscribers, billions of views, and he's really implementing this loop feature really, really well. If you're interested and curious, go check out Jake Fellman's channel, and it's all shorts, and you'll see how he uses the loop feature. The second thing is that you got to really be snappy and punchy with your shorts. And so I would say, long form content, you have a little more leeway of developing your narrative and your story and connection. But with shorts, I think it's unprecedented, and I think it goes without saying that the attention span of the shorts viewer is extremely, extremely low. And so you need to really think about not going all the way. I would say this: don't go all the way to the 59, 60-second threshold. I have found the shorter you go, the more retention and the better your video performs on the short shelf. So I'm talking 30 seconds or less. Yeah. Now, how do you do this? Well, you want to really have strong retention strategies. Right. You want to really drive the narrative home as fast as possible without diminishing quality. And then you think of some unique editing pattern disrupts. And also, here's the last thing I want to say, which I think is so powerful. Ask yourself, before you publish your short, ask yourself this question: if I took 5 seconds off of this video, would that hurt the conveyance of the story I'm trying to get across? Would it affect the story? If the answer to that is no, take off those 5 seconds. This is so important, guys. Yeah. It's very hard to look at ourselves with objectivity, but you have to try to put on that viewer persona and think like a viewer. Don't think like a creator when you're in that timeline, so to speak. Think like a viewer. Why do I really need that extra second? Do I need those extra 3 seconds? Am I really efficient and economical with my editing? Because I'm telling you right now, the shorter, the better. That's really, really important. And the first 3 seconds, just like in regular YouTube videos, the first 30 seconds are the most important.
Yeah. Well, and I think that was a valuable point too, is that, just because they give you 60 seconds, you don't necessarily need 60 seconds. I mean, one of the questions that you keep getting is like, well, how long does my video need to be? Well, it needs, outside of shorts, it needs to be as long as it needs to be. And I think sometimes we feel like we get so, into our own work that we feel like I can't possibly cut anything out. Well, if you just call what Nez said, you create for the audience. I mean, you need to love your work. I mean, at some point you need to go, yeah, I like that. I like that piece of content. But ultimately, if it doesn't resonate with the audience, it doesn't really matter, right? And
I would also add this, Kevin, just to be really transparent with you and your audience. I would be remiss if I didn't say, look at what the TikTokers are doing. The really successful TikTokers in their entertainment, very strong presence of mind when it comes to retention. I mean, having a video where there is a huge payoff at the end, some kind of almost like the unboxing principle where you don't see the big payoff till the end. The most powerful and the most viewed TikToks are those which deploy these tactics and strategies that I'm talking about and be very, very creative. YouTube is only rewarding unique content. Unique is a really important adjective there. So it's got to be something that's yours. You don't want to just copy, but you can emulate. You can be inspired.
Yeah. No, I think that is great. And something that you said too, and I hadn't thought about it this way, and I think this could be a takeaway, is that if you have an issue and a problem, you struggle with like cutting your content down, shoot some shorts, because that way you've got 60 seconds max. So even if you take all 60 seconds, you better nail that concept. If you're teaching something, if you're inspiring something, and that may help you. I just thought about this. That may help you then with your longer form content of maybe I don't need this. Maybe I don't need this. I can cut this out. So maybe use it as a training ground. So your prediction is that these things are here to stay, right? I mean, they're just not going away.
It's so interesting. Could shorts go away tomorrow? Yes, but I think all signs point toward, what the data doesn't lie. 6.5 billion daily views globally on shorts. Now, I'm sure a lot of those are probably coming from, India as well as North America. But I mean, the numbers don't lie. Like TikTok's been around for 2-3 years and shorts has already surpassed them. Yeah. And so if that's not a sign, I mean, people don't spend time, companies don't spend time on products that don't work. And so this is a product that's working and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And who knows? I would never, ever say shorts is the future of YouTube because I love long form content. I love creating long form content. I don't think long form content is going anywhere.
I agree.
But it's the audience is going to be the barometer. So let's see what the audience does. I, for one, this is really interesting. I'm like totally contradicting myself right now. When I want to watch short form content, I don't go to YouTube Shorts. I go to TikTok. And but I'm going to do what the platform dictates, and I always listen to my audience. All my content comes from, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the audience. And so if they're like, hey, we're getting a lot of value from these shorts, fantastic. Some of you YouTubers out there, this is really important to say this. Some of you YouTubers out there, you might get a lot of pushback from your audience. There's a channel I manage right now that a couple of their real core audiences complained big time about, why are you giving us these stupid vertical short videos? We don't like that. That's not what we signed up for. So what I advise them to do is to still experiment with shorts, but when you go in to upload your video, because I know Kevin knows this, uncheck that little box that says notify your subscribers in your subscription feed. That way you can still release your shorts, you can still experiment, and you can still get on the shorts shelf, but you're not disrupting the flow of your core audience.
Yeah.
So dictate, everything that we're talking about here today, all should come from the real directive. The biggest on high, the ultimate factor is, what does your audience want? Your audience might be like, if you do another short, I'm out of here. You need to adjust. Being a business owner and a content creator is all about evolution. It's all about constantly tweaking and constantly adjusting. I know Kevin knows this. I know you guys know this. And so pay attention to your audience, but there's ways around that you can navigate. I know a lot of creators are creating separate shorts channels. Nothing wrong with that too. And so I definitely think this is something worth experimenting. I don't think it's going anywhere for a long time, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And they've got the creator fund. It's the $100 million fund, but they also talk about in I think it was that blog post that they're looking at other ways of monetizing it. And yes, they're a business and they're about making money, but at the same time, they understand that if the creators can play in that and make money, we're more likely going to be creating content for that as well. And, really think back to it, think about what your channel is. Now, if you haven't started, that's different. But if you have a YouTube channel, whatever it is, and what do I do that could convert into a short? Try it. Just try it and then see what the reaction you get. I mean, I did one just a couple of days ago on a new setup, and I've already had some folks go, "Wow, I like that setup, and I like that." And quite honestly, since I've published it, it's still growing slow, but it's growing more than the last couple of other uploads I did. So you don't know, but play the long game. Play the long game, and I think I just think you could see some amazing things from this. So.
What? I was going to ask you, Kevin, how many shorts you've done and what your experience has been with it recently.
So I think I've done 5 or 6. Ironically, my first one is my biggest one, just called "Welcome to My Shorts." I love it.
Perfect.
And I think and I started experimenting. I'm like, well, I'm going to try this, and I was overproducing them. And this is before everybody had the app. In fact, at that point, I think the only way I could do it was upload it. And I did a few, and I'm like, I don't know if this is it. So I tried, doing a Q&A, or I called it a Q and short A, and some different things. But recently, especially after you had tweeted that, and I started thinking about it more, and they released the Creator Fund, whether I ever qualify for the Creator Fund, I'm like, I think I would be really just silly not to be doing some that can bring some value. So I'm even thinking of, what's that quick tip I can share in less than 60 seconds that I don't need to do a 20-minute video for, or even going back and taking some past videos and go, can I redo this as a short one? So I think I've done maybe 5, 6, and they've got some views, but I think your point was like you got to keep trying things. And
did they ever hit the short shelf or no?
I don't know. Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, if you look in your analytics for your shorts, you can click on reach and then see what traffic sources. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because I just said that you can uncheck the box and not disrupt the flow of your normal subscriber base. But here's what's really funny is, even though I unclick, notify subscribers, the people who watch my channel, the two most prominent traffic sources that everybody on YouTube should be going after is recommended, right? So home and browse and suggested. And so the funny thing is even if you do uncheck that box, if you've got an avid watcher of your channel, YouTube's still going to recommend the video to them.
That's a good point.
So it's kind of a moot point, but here's what I was going to say. You said something really powerful, Kevin. It's fast. You got to think fast, and you got to think short. And also, the potential to reach new audiences is just magnificent. And here's one last thing. I just came to me that I forgot to mention. I apologize. Another great strategy that I've seen creators implement that's worked wonders is the funnel strategy, funneling shorts viewers, new audiences to the main channel. In other words, your YouTube short, Kevin just said it brilliantly, kind of like using shorts like a movie trailer, like Hollywood uses movie trailers, where you show a nice highlight reel of your long form video and then have some kind of strong call to action at the end of the short that says, hey, if you want to watch more, go here, or leave your links in the comments. By the way, your description is going to be difficult to get to on the Shorts creation app. If you leave a link to the video in the comments, much like TikTok, once they click comments, that link comes up. And here's another thing that I've been doing that I think is super powerful. If you're running out of, I have to say this, Kev. Can I give one more tip?
Absolutely.
One more tip that's absolutely, it's changed my life when it comes to shorts. Hey, you guys, you want to never run out of ideas for shorts? Hit that like button right now, and in the comments, give me a hashtag yeah, because watch this. This is going to change your life. You're never going to run out of ideas for shorts ever again. When you get a comment on a long form video, or let's say it's a question. I know Kevin probably gets this. I get this all the time. I get questions all the time in my comments. Hey, Nez, what about this? Hey, Nez, you didn't talk about that. Hey, Nez, I was wondering if you could XYZ. Create a short answering the comment question by starting the short on the comment, bring the comment up, and then answer the question through a short. What you're doing is you're killing two birds with one stone. You're not only providing value to your community, but you're also you're giving them a spotlight, and you're incentivizing people to comment more because you might create a short out of it, and you're creating content. You're creating a short.
Oh, yeah.
And imagine all the new audiences that might go, you know what? I had that question. I didn't have the wherewithal to ask it, but I actually had that question, and Kevin answered it beautifully.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll never run out of ideas I think this is the best idea when it comes to shorts.
I think that
my best tip.
Yeah. I think that's a phenomenal idea because, I don't care who you are, where we are in the calendar 2021, people still love to be recognized. And so they ask a question, and you can comment, and that's great. But all of a sudden you share that. And it's like, hey, somebody asked this, and here's how you do that. And all of a sudden it's like, then it's community. It's just more community. And let me throw this out. So, if you think you just can't possibly, there's no way I can get my content in a little short time frame. So there used to be a show, well, it's still on television, called 60 Minutes, and it's on CBS, ran for years. And for a long time, it was like the number one show on television. And every week when they promoted an upcoming episode, their promo for that was 10 seconds. Now, part of that was like Sunday on 60 Minutes. So then they really only had about 8 seconds. So if a network can manage for years to use 10 seconds to promote the number one show, and think about it, they were doing 15-minute like mini docs. I think you and I can figure out in 15 seconds how to talk to an audience.
Well said. That's well said.
So, Nez, thank you so much for being on here. Tell everybody where they can find you other than right here. And by the way, I put a link to Nez's channel down there. Show him some love and check out his stuff. But where else can the lovely folks of YouTube connect with you?
I would love for you guys to just come hang out with me on YouTube. You don't have to worry about anywhere else. I mean, I do have a podcast, and, I'm on all the platforms, and, if you just search Professor Nez, but you know what? If you're watching this right now, watching it on the replay, I would love it. If you're interested in the creator economy and how you can grow your impact and income online, come hang out with me, because that's all I talk about. And I also talk about that thing in between your ears, because that's the ultimate gear.
That's great.
And so, if you're interested in that, come hang out with me. I would love to have you. But really what you need to do is you need to watch more of Kevin videos, because Kevin's videos rock. And so make sure you're giving love to Kevin Kolbe, and you're gonna get a lot of value.
All right, Nez, I love you, dude, and thank you so much for being a part of this.
It's been an honor. It's been an honor, sir. Thank you for having me.
And seriously, guys, make sure you show him some love. There, his link to the YouTube channels there just does amazing stuff. And by the way, again, if you found, if the things I'm doing on this channel to help you do more of the video, you want to buy me a cup of coffee, I'm okay with that. We're every Friday live. We appreciate StreamYard being a sponsor of this. If you ever have any questions, you have any ideas for anything, heck, maybe I do a short on it. You never know. But I'm Kevin Kolbe. I so appreciate you being here. Keep creating. I'll see you next time in the next video. Peace out.